Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alicia. I post new tutorials every Thursday. Sometimes I get an extra one in on the weekend or during the week if I can. I primarily focus on Tumblr tutorials, but I do reviews and I do some other fun things too. So go ahead and check out my channel and see some of the other things I've done. But in this week's tutorial, I am going to be working with, they call it the man glitter. It's non-glittery glitter. And so it is really more of a camouflage colors. And so it's interesting to work with this glitter. So if you're interested to see what I came up with, stick around and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. All right guys, so I'm working with a 20 ounce skinny straight from Mica Flow, and I am prepping it as I always do by sanding it, wiping it with 91% alcohol, and I spray paint it in ivory color. So the color I am using is teak wood. It's a Tim Holtz alcohol ink, and I'm going to apply it by putting it on the cup and then using a coarse chip brush to get that wood grain look. And this is the best way for me, I found, to get a wood grain look. And so teak wood is a darker color. And I am going to put a design on here. I'm going to put a deer on here because I'm making this a hunter cup, and it is going to say size matters with antlers. And so what I did, and I'm so sorry guys, because I started this video a long time ago, and when I was clearing out my old videos, I cleared this out, and it was really important for me to show you this. So now I'm just gonna have to explain it to you. So what I did was, normally I would put my decal down before I do this. So you would do the light wood grain look, put your decal down, and then or your template, and then do the darker wood grain over top, and then peel your template off, and so it would look like this engraved look. So it would look like you engraved into this wood whatever design that you had. So I'm actually going to reverse this. And so what I did was I cut my template out on white permanent vinyl, and then I went and I wood grained that vinyl. So yes, you can actually wood grain your vinyl. So I had a matte white. I did give it a little bit of a light sanding to rough it up, and then I went over it with my light colored alcohol ink, and I think the color I used was caramel. So whatever lighter color that you have. So again guys, I am so sorry that because this was kind of going to be the star of my video, and now it's gone. But so here it is, size matters with the antlers, and this is white vinyl with light colored alcohol ink, so it looks like a wood grain. So I kind of reversed how I did this. And then I did not seal my alcohol ink. I did let it sit overnight before I applied this, and I made sure that I was using not really super sticky transfer tape. And so I got that on there, and I love it. And is one way easier than the other? No, but it's just a cool different way to do it. All right, so now it's time to apply our glitter. And so I am doing it, I'm applying it with the epoxy method. I'm putting a thin layer. I can't even tell you how much. It was probably like 1 or 2 mLs, probably 1 ml. Because that's your adhesive. So you're just going to put a very thin layer on. And in retrospect, I probably should have put a little bit of a thicker layer on, but I didn't know what I was getting myself into with working with this glitter, because it is a thicker consistency than the other, your sparkly glitters, which also have different textures too. But so this is kind of a thicker glitter, and but I didn't get the coverage that I wanted. So here I am using, it's called Fatigues, and it's this chunky, irregular shaped, dull, no sparkly glitter, and it's got these greens and browns and whites in there. And I really like this mix, and it really is your camo color. It's a true camo. So I'm going to get this on here, and I'm going to let it dry. I did put a fast set epoxy on there so that in 2 hours I will be ready to work on this. But like I said, I started this cup a long time ago, and I kind of ran out of this glitter. I didn't have enough of it, so I had to order more and then wait for it to come in before I started, before I could do my second coat. So this was not the perfect coverage with one coat, although it wasn't horrible, to be honest with you, because I used that ivory color underneath, And you could have very well left it that way, but I wanted a better coverage. So it's, you know, completely up to you. But that tan actually worked out, that ivory color actually worked out if you only wanted to do the one layer. So you can see I'm kind of getting low and I've got to like dump and, you know, put it on again or whatever. So I was happy that I had enough to do the first coat, and then you know, just enough to get the bottom done. And then, like I said, you know, it dried for a very long time before I went in with my second coat. So I do pat this down with my gloved hand to make sure that, you know, that it's not poking up, because we know how bad pokies are. And I get that bottom covered, and then work on getting this glitter to be flat. So I'm rolling it on, trying to get better coverage. I'm rolling it onto the glitter, and then I am just gonna, you know, just pat it on there and get it as flat as possible. So I spent a little bit of time doing this, and you know, that's really it for there. So you can see the coverage, not so great, but if you like that look, that's good for you. And if not, you put a second layer on after this dries for 2 hours. And right after you're done getting your glitter applied, go ahead and take that tape off. And make sure that that tape was like de-sticky before you put it on too, okay? All right, let's jump to present day. I've got my glitter, and I'm going to apply it using Mod Podge. So the first layer of glitter is on there pretty good because I applied it with the epoxy, and I didn't even seal it because I had mushed it down so much. It was nothing was coming off. So I am going to put a generous coat of Mod Podge on here. And is this the best way to do this? I don't know. It worked out. Probably could have done epoxy again, but I just decided to do the Mod Podge. So I'm going to go ahead and put a nice, like I said, generous coat all the way around. I'm not taping this off, and I'm going to be careful coming up around the border. You know, I've got this flat bristle brush, which, you know, flattens out at the top, so it makes a good, you know, like line for, you know, getting close to seams. And it's a soft bristle brush, so and you can pick these up anywhere, you know, Walmart, Dollar Tree, wherever. Actually, I don't think Dollar Tree has these actual good flat ones, but you can check to see anyway. So, all right, so just getting this Mod Podge on, blah, blah, blah. Like, how long does it take to put Mod Podge on? It takes a little while, so sorry, guys. All right, so now I am, and I don't do the bottom yet because, you know, Mod Podge dries pretty quickly. So here I go. I've got my full bottle of glitter. Yay! I've got plenty now to get, you know, on there. So I'm liking this coverage better now. I just felt like I didn't want the tan at the bottom, you know, underneath. I wanted the full camo look. So I'm happy with this. So I am going to, again, roll this on there to flatten this glitter out because it pokes up. Like I said, it's got a lot of irregular shapes. It's kind of a thick glitter. So it's, you know, it's different to work with. So now I'm going to do my bottom and get that Mod Podge on the bottom. And again, a nice generous coat. And I am, you know, I do a little bit at a time because I hate having too much. So I just put a little bit in these squeeze bottles. I love having my Mod Podge in these squeeze bottles too. So if you don't have them, pick them up. You can pick them up at the Dollar Tree, or Amazon sells them in packs for pretty inexpensive. So we're going to go ahead and get that glitter on the bottom. And then again, I'm going to press this down. I want to make sure that this glitter is nice and pressed firmly. And once I'm going to let this dry for 2 hours. And normally I would go like maybe after an hour, but I wanted to wait 2 hours because I did put a pretty thick coat. But once I get done pressing this down and it's pretty flat, I'm going to go ahead and take it outside and put 2 coats. Actually, I put 3 coats of Krylon Triple Thick on it. So just showing you here the first coat of the Krylon Triple Thick, and I'm getting it all around. Sorry about my dogs wrestling in the background. And 3 coats, guys. And in between each coat, I went and I like squeezed it together. I like rolled it on parchment paper to make sure that that glitter was nice and flat, because again, this is a thicker glitter. So I came in for this one and I mixed up 30 mLs of epoxy, and I can't remember if I used it all or not, but I went and I put a nice layer on the bottom, making sure I got in there. And this took 3 coats of at least 20 mLs to cover. And I did a light sanding after the second coat. So I did 2 coats of epoxy. I did use Quickset. You can use whatever you want. I used 2 coats of the Quickset for the first 2, and then I used my regular epoxy with the UV protectant for the 3rd layer. But again, after 2nd layer, I did a sanding and I cleaned the rim up and everything too. So torch for bubbles, and that is it, guys. That's it for this tutorial. So I will be back with my final remarks. All right, guys, this cup is done. I really love how this came out. This camo glitter just worked out perfectly for this cup. So I think it's definitely different to work with than your sparkly glitter because it's thicker. The pieces are thicker, so it required more coats to get this smooth. So I put 3 full coats over this with the sanding after the 2nd coat, and then, you know, I put the final coat on there. So I think it you know, requires a little more epoxy, but it is worth it in the end. So if you like this glitter, they do have other, so this was the one I used, Fatigues, but they also have a couple of other colors. They have their Desert Camo, which is the black and gray and white. They also have Semper Fortis, so you've got your black and blue and white in here. They have engine number 9, so your red, black, and white. And then they just came out with, I think it was last month or the month before, the camo chic. So you've got your pink, purple, and white in here. So if you want to get your hands on some of this glitter, one or all of them, obviously, as I always say, check my description box down below for the link of where you can find these, and don't forget to enter my discount code for 30% off. So guys, that is it for this tutorial. Please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, share, comment. I love to hear your feedback. All that stuff helps my channel to grow, and I will see you all next time. Bye.